Aliens are here. The first handshake or tentacle shake is done. The world celebrates. Luckily, they speak perfect English. Then comes the reality no one prepared for. They're staying, not for days, not months. Their journey here took generations. Some of their crew were born in transit. Their homeworld, it might not even exist anymore. We spent decades figuring out how to say hello to aliens. No one planned for what happens when they become permanent residents of Earth. And that's when the real complications begin. Suddenly, humanity finds itself in the strangest holding pattern in history. The TV cameras have packed up and gone home. The aliens, though, remain. It's like a party where the guests didn't leave when the host went to bed. We spent years preparing for how to say hello. No one prepared for what to do when the aliens say, "Mind if we stick around?" A nervous official finally blurts out the question on everyone's mind. Do you have a place to stay? It sounds absurd asking this of interstellar travelers, but what else can we do? World leaders exchange panicked glances. Do we offer the aliens a room at the White House, a bunker under a mountain? We're terrified of offending our guests and equally terrified of letting them wander around. Meanwhile, the aliens just stand there politely, perhaps amused by our confusion. This isn't the triumphant movie finale we imagined. It's an awkward real-life problem with no protocol. An aide wonders if we should offer the visitors dinner, then realizes we have no idea what or if they eat. The initial thrill of first contact is fading, replaced by one giant, uncomfortable question. What now? Now the real work begins. Where will these aliens sleep and live? How long are they planning to stay? Are we inadvertently hosting the galaxy's strangest sleepover? Finally, a diplomat suggests the obvious. Perhaps the visitors would be most comfortable spending the night aboard their ship. One of the aliens agrees. Their vessel is fully self-sufficient. A collective sigh of relief. We don't have to figure out how to tuck an alien into a hotel bed. Not tonight, anyway. That relief doesn't last long. We dodge the first awkward hurdle, but the bigger questions are just beginning. How long will temporary be? Days? Weeks? Forever? No one dares ask, "When are you leaving?" Instead, we all smile and say, "Let us know if you need anything." The aliens nod politely, giving nothing away. Earth now has long-term alien guests and not a clue what comes next. Behind the scenes, governments scramble. Is it safe for them to stay here? Is it safe for us? Do we need to worry about germs or environmental effects? We're making up plans on the fly. We've said our hellos. Now we actually have to live alongside our new friends, at least for a while, and maybe much longer, given they might not be able to hop back home anytime soon. So, what happens after first contact is done? All the hard questions come crashing in at once. We've confirmed we're not alone. Now we have to deal with what that actually means. One immediate issue: territory. For now, the aliens stay on their ship, which is fine by everyone. But if they plan to stick around, they might want to set up a base on Earth. Would we allow that? Perhaps we'd offer a neutral remote site, like an isolated island or a patch of Antarctica, as an alien encampment under international supervision. Treat it like an embassy, a tiny alien territory on Earth. Some would welcome that as a gesture of trust. Others would be alarmed, worrying it's the first step toward a colony. And what if the visit does start turning into a semi-permanent stay? At what point do we draw the line? Humans can't help but recall that when advanced visitors throughout history decided to stay, it often went badly for the locals. Even if these aliens are perfectly friendly, we'd be cautious. We might set ground rules, how many aliens can come down, where they can go, mostly to make ourselves feel in control. And quietly, we'd all wonder what we'd do if those rules were tested. Not every first contact will be face-to-face. What if instead we receive a radio signal from deep space? We'd answer back with a message of our own, and then possibly wait years or decades for a reply. It could turn into a painfully slow conversation. Or maybe their message says they'll visit us eventually, giving us time to prepare for an in-person meeting down the line. No matter how we meet them, one burning question is, why did they reach out to us at all? After the excitement settles, humanity will demand an answer. Did they come to share knowledge, to trade, to seek help or a new home? Are they curious explorers, or are we just an experiment to them? Maybe they picked up our radio signals and decided to say hello. We could get an answer we never expected. Perhaps Earth has something they need. Imagine they tell us a microbe in our oceans could cure a disease on their world, and they're here to ask for our cooperation. Or maybe they've come to warn us about an impending cosmic disaster only they know about. Their motive might be routine for them, but earth-shaking for us. On the other hand, maybe there is no grand agenda. They're just friendly. They found an intelligent civilization, us, and thought it would be nice to meet and exchange knowledge. In that case, they might be as excited as we are. They'd want to share art, music, science, stories, purely for the joy of making a new interstellar friend. Meanwhile, humanity has to deal with itself. Politically, this could either unite us or divide us. In the best case, nations set aside differences and form a single team to interface with our visitors. But we might not be so wise. Just as easily, countries could argue over who gets to host or talk to the aliens and who speaks for humanity. If the ship landed in one nation, others might be jealous or mistrustful. We'd have to work hard to present a united front and not let petty rivalries mess up our chance at galactic diplomacy. Our economy would enter uncharted territory too. Markets would swing wildly with the uncertainty. And if the aliens share even a bit of technology or knowledge, entire industries could be upended. Imagine they give us a clean energy device. The energy sector would flip overnight. New opportunities would explode, while some old businesses might become obsolete. Every company and government would be scrambling to figure out how to adapt. And if the aliens want to trade or buy something, say they develop a taste for some Earth product, we'd be looking at the first interplanetary trade deals in history. Socially, people's reactions would span the spectrum. Many would celebrate in the streets and treat the aliens like rock stars. Others would be fearful, even hostile, demanding the visitors leave. Every religion would grapple with what alien life means for their faith. A lot of individuals would simply feel overwhelmed, our sense of place in the universe completely altered in a day. We'd also cope through culture and humor. Alien influences would sweep through our art, music, and internet memes. One particularly weird question arises: do we hand over our internet access? Will they jump on X or Reddit and outdo humanity at cosmic-level shitposting? Will they troll or be trolled, or simply watch us in wide-eyed fascination? Nobody's sure if this is a genius move toward interstellar bonding or a surefire recipe for cosmic flame wars. The thought of aliens scrolling our social feeds might be scarier than their spaceship. Of course, not everyone would be laughing. Conspiracy theories would run wild. Some people would insist the aliens have a secret evil agenda, no matter how friendly they seem. Every move they make would be scrutinized by skeptics. Society would have to navigate a lot of fear of the unknown. All the while, we'd be scrambling to create new rules for this new reality. Governments might establish a Department of Extraterrestrial Affairs. We'd draft laws and treaties for interacting with an alien species. Everything from visitation rights to what happens if a human or alien breaks the law during this visit. It's an entirely new frontier for lawyers and diplomats. One thing is certain: after first contact, nothing will ever be the same. We've stepped into a larger universe, and we can't step back. Our self-image, our plans for the future, everything has to expand to include the fact that we're not alone. This is where second contact begins. First contact was that initial meeting. Second contact is everything that follows. It's the process of building a relationship with our new cosmic neighbors. The handshake is done. Now comes the long conversation. This phase will be less flashy than a spaceship landing on live TV, but far more meaningful. And who knows? First contact might not be the last. Once word gets out that Earth has joined the galactic community, other civilizations could take notice. We might suddenly receive new messages, or even additional visitors, curious about the newcomers, us. What started as one first contact could turn into many. But here's the most staggering possibility of all. What if permanent alien residents aren't just a challenge, they're a test? Every civilization that reaches for the stars must face this moment. Perhaps the ones that successfully integrate their first visitors are deemed ready to join a larger galactic community. And the ones that fail, maybe that's why space seems so quiet. Maybe we're not just dealing with first contact, we're taking our species' final exam.